a person, someone who is young, filled with hopes and dreams. At that stage, when support is more important than ever, having access to a safe place to live, education, employment, healthcare, and social connection is fundamental. Can you imagine being deprived of these because of who you are?
Those choices and opportunities in life shouldn't be determined by things that they have no control over. We really want to make sure that any child, regardless of where he or she is born, regardless of the ethnicity of his or her parents, has the same opportunity to get a good education, to have access to health care, to have access to basic services such as clean water. We think this is not just a question of fairness, it's also a question of good economic policy.
The focus on opportunities is important because when we talk about inequality, we often end up what we mean are outcomes. But the problem with just focusing on outcomes is that you could say that people are rewarded for effort. And when you focus on opportunities, what you're saying is that you have a level playing field, and then based on your effort and your talent, you may be earning different incomes while accessing the same opportunities.
There's just no way that you will eliminate extreme poverty if children born into poor rural families just don't have the opportunity set that will allow them to be productive, healthy adults earning decent incomes.
In a world speedily developing into a new horizon, it is easy to forget our roots. Our home, which housed an identity that is truly ours to cherish and share. All that remains are the silence of the people we have left behind. These indigenous groups have maintained the culture that our nation was born with and has lived with to this day. Yet, what is happening to them? In the mindset favoring development, most have failed to honor indigenous people. The people deserve the most respect. Their lack of education has made them fall behind in this ever-changing world. School facilities are far, and they do not have the same access to the information from technology. Shouldn't they have the knowledge to participate in society? Shouldn't that participation be valued? The jobs they undertake do not give them the support they need to live in this modern world. The money they earn is not enough to support them despite the countless efforts they do. Is their work not recognized to be as important? The lack of support has made their way of living more difficult. The environment is deteriorating. The resources like land are slowly being taken away from them. What happens to their livelihood? What of the earth they have taken care of for so long? Shouldn't they be able to speak out their concerns and be heard like any other citizen? It is all the more important to support them at this time of need. Some have stepped up to provide for them, and they need help in order to make that goal possible.
The idea of human rights is that each one of us, no matter who we are or where we are born, is entitled to the same basic rights and freedoms. Human rights are not privileges, and they cannot be granted or revoked. They are inalienable and universal. That may sound straightforward enough, but it gets incredibly complicated as soon as anyone tries to put the idea into practice. What exactly are the basic human rights? Who gets to pick them? Who enforces them, and how? The history behind the concept of human rights is a long one. Throughout the centuries and across societies, religions, and cultures, we have struggled with defining notions of rightfulness, justice, and rights. But one of the most modern affirmations of universal human rights emerged from the ruins of World War II with the creation of the United Nations. The treaty that established the UN gives as one of its purposes to reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights. And with the same spirit, in 1948, the UN General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This document, written by an international committee chaired by Eleanor Roosevelt, lays the basis for modern international human rights law. The Declaration is based on the principle that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. It lists 30 articles recognizing, among other things, the principle of non-discrimination and the right to life and liberty. It refers to negative freedoms, like the freedom from torture or slavery, as well as positive freedoms, such as the freedom of movement and residence. It encompasses basic civil and political rights, such as freedom of expression, religion, or peaceful assembly, as well as social, economic, and cultural rights, such as the right to education and the right to freely choose one's occupation and be paid and treated fairly. The Declaration takes no sides as to which rights are more important, insisting on their universality, indivisibility, and interdependence. And in the past decades, international human rights law has grown, deepening and expanding our understanding of what human rights are and how to better protect them.
Spring Rain Global has been creating philanthropic development offices for the purpose of building a system towards sustainability. Long-term sustainability has been one of the major challenges among nonprofit organizations, especially in the world today where the generation of donors are changing in the landscape. Baby boomers are becoming few in terms of their support, and the millennial donors are now coming in. Development work has to innovate to a level where it can communicate well with this new generation of donors. Most of the charities that we have worked with are still left with the old tradition of doing philanthropy work, and we need to capacitate them, we need to support them, we need to help them in terms of training and giving them technology and innovation and letting them be exposed to what the global philanthropy is all about.